Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Richard III, and today we get to hear from Lord Hastings in Act 3, Scene 2. So the things that are going on, Clarence is dead, Edward is dead, the Queen's family, Rivers and Grey and Vaughan, have been arrested and imprisoned by Richard for nobody knows the reason except for Richard, and it's actually because Richard is like putting together a party to like kind of try to throw a coup, because now that his two older brothers are out of the way, now he's going to try to circumvent his nephews and take the throne. His nephews, Richard and Edward, because they only had 4 names back in the day, are spending the time until Edward gets coronated in the tower, the nice friendly tower where loads of people have gotten killed over the years, so that's fun. And as Richard is trying to put together, Richard about whom the play is written, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, as he's putting together like his team that will back him up as he is trying to take over the throne, Buckingham is like number 1 right-hand man. Catesby is right up there too. Catesby has been sent to Hastings to find out if Hastings will join their side, because if they can get Hastings, then they can get Stanley. They build power, all that sort of stuff. So we start out Act 3, Scene 2 with one of Lord Stanley's messengers coming to Hastings and telling him about a dream that Lord Stanley had, that Richard like took the crown off of his head, and then there was all sorts of weirdness. And he also says that Stanley is nervous about the fact that there's 2 different councils going on, because he's afraid that the things that happen at one of these council meetings are going to negatively impact the other council meetings and basically everybody in general. And Hastings replies by saying, "Go, fellow, go. Return unto thy lord. Bid him not fear the separated council. His honor and myself are at the one, and at the other is my good friend Catesby, where nothing can proceed that toucheth us, whereof I shall not have intelligence. Tell him his fears are shallow, without instance, and for his dreams, I wonder he's so simple to trust the mockery of unquiet slumbers. To fly the boar before the boar pursues, were to incense the boar to follow us, and make pursuit where he did mean no chase. Go, bid thy master rise, and come to me, and we will both together to the tower, where he shall see the boar will use us kindly." The boar is Richard, B-O-R-E, though in some places it's also written B-O-A-R, so I think maybe that's like his sigil or some such thing. So what he's saying here is that Lord Stanley is overreacting to all of this stuff. Hastings trusts Catesby because he doesn't know that Catesby is on Richard's side, and he's like, we'll be at one council, Catesby's at the other, so we're gonna know everything that's going on, so that's totally fine. And why is he like freaking out over a dream? Really, is he that dumb to believe in dreams? And if we do something against Richard now, before Richard has provoked us, that will provoke Richard to do bad things to us. So let's all, instead of riding off north like Stanley wants to, because he had this dream, let's all just go to the tower and he'll see that Richard is going to be fine. So the messenger goes to deliver that, but then Catesby comes in and is like, you know, things are kind of crazy, and I don't think they're going to be good until Richard is wearing the crown. And Hastings is like, that's never going to happen. And he's like, well, but and Hastings is like, no. And Catesby is like, well, the Queen's family is set to be executed today. And Hastings is like, well, yeah, I'm okay with that, but Richard is not next in line for the crown. It's Edward who's next in line for the crown, and after that the other Richard, and then this Richard. So like, I'm not on the, and Catesby's like, okay. So he leaves, and then a messenger comes in, and there's an exchange of purse. No real exchange of information, like we don't get new information from this messenger, but it is the same messenger who crossed paths with Hastings when he was being taken to the tower, because remember, he started the play in the tower and then he gets released. And then he leaves, and then a priest comes in, and Hastings is like, I'm gonna take good care of you, and like whispers something in his ear, and then Buckingham comes in and is like, you're chatting with a priest? Isn't it the Queen's family that should be chatting with priests now, because they're all about to be beheaded? And Hastings is like, no, I just had a couple of quick little things to say, and everybody's going off to the tower, right? And Buckingham's like, yeah, we're going off to the tower. You're going to the tower for dinner? And Hastings like, yep, I'm going for dinner. And Buckingham was like, and for supper too, meaning that Hastings, because remember, Richard had said that if Hastings wasn't on their side, he should be beheaded. So we end Act 3, Scene 2 with Buckingham being like, yep, he's gonna die now. And Hastings has no idea, but then they all go off to the tower. So, the bodies are starting to pile up on this one, and we'll see, can Richard get enough people on his side to actually like stage a coup? And is it successful? What do you think? Leave some comments, and I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.